Hey everyone, so this video is to do a quick walk around and then start up and run of my 1978 Kawasaki KE100 that I've been restoring over the past 2 months while we've been in quarantine from the COVID-19 pandemic. It's almost done, still has a few things left that need to be completed. I'll go over those in the video. So right now I'm gonna post it up for $900 firm. Sorry, I'm not negotiable on $900 as is. It runs and rides well. You can ride it the way it is as much as you want, or you can finish restoring it and make it look a little better than it does now. But let's go through it quickly. So first off, some things it still needs is, here's the original key, but for some reason it does not go all the way in. It does still turn the ignition, so we'll start with the lights. The headlight, both low beam and high beam, do work. The tail light also works. I don't know if you can see it because it's so bright out, but it does work. The only thing is the brake light does not work. Even though I put a new brake light switch on the back here, it does not work. It's probably a broken wire. The bike is considerably old, so I guess that's it. And then only a little over 5,000 miles on it. It was in pretty good shape when I got it. It was just sitting for a long time, so I bought this from the grandson of the original owners. His grandparents passed away, and this bike was in their barn up in New Jersey. He got it brought back to his place here in Pennsylvania with all intentions of restoring it because he rode this as a kid, but it ended up just sitting in his garage, so we put it up for sale, and I grabbed it probably early March, right when the pandemic was starting. Some of the things I did were clean the carburetor. I didn't rebuild it completely, but I did replace a few things in it, which leads me to the one thing that still needs to be done. So the carb is pretty good to go, and the bike runs pretty well, but when it gets hot, it'll start to load up. So if you're riding around for a while and the engine gets hot, and let's say you stop someplace, you start it back up, you have to really kind of like put the bike under load to clear it out, and then it runs fine. You know, the carburetor definitely needs some fine tuning. I'm not an expert in carburetors, but I did the best I can, especially this weird design where it goes into the side of the engine for the rotary valve. You know, I just had to watch a lot of YouTube videos to get it. But the other thing I wanted to do was paint the gas tank to match the side cover, so black side cover, seat, tank, and then the white fenders. I thought it would look pretty sharp, and then get some Kawasaki emblems. I didn't get around to it, so if you buy it as is now, something you can do. Other thing it needs is fork seals. I have them. I didn't install them yet. All the oil is gone out of these, so when you're riding around, it's only on the spring, so if you hit a bounce, it'll spring back and make a clanging noise because it's going right against the stops. There's absolutely no oil in them. I have the seals, I just didn't get around to doing it yet. So those are the only 3 things that are major that it needs. I guess I should also point out that it has no title. The guy I bought it from, he doesn't even know if his grandparents ever had the title. They never street titled it. They pretty much just used it around their farm and trail riding. So it runs pretty good. Just kind of take a walk around. The front tire is good. The brakes work. The speedometer and odometer both work. Pretty low mileage on it considering, but I will say that I had to put a new speedometer cable on it, so I'm not sure how accurate that is. There was a cable on when I got it, but it was all frayed and making noise. But it could potentially be true mileage, I'm not sure. There's no way to verify since it hasn't been registered, and I don't know if it ever was, but I threw a new seat cover on it, and this Kawasaki logo. Exhaust is in pretty good shape, but the spark arrestor is missing. The engine's pretty clean and it runs great, as you'll see here in a moment. The chain and sprockets are in decent shape. Did my best to clean up the rims. The rims do have some pitting. You know, the chrome is just peeling off because it's so old. you know, they're pretty much just springs. They always were. So the suspension, you know, it's a 1978 kids trail bike basically. It is what it is, but I don't know, it hauls me around. I've used it to run around town, grab a few things. I slapped the license plate on it from my other bike, so it does the job. So no turn signals if you noticed. I'm sure they were on there when it was new, but long gone. Had to replace one of the chain adjusters because the other one was just like stripped out so bad. So I replaced one of those. Put a new air filter in there. It was kind of hard to find one, but I cleaned this all out and I put a new one in. I changed the gear oil, or the gear fluid, so not regular engine oil. You have to put the actual transmission gear oil in it for motorcycles for the wet clutch. So I took care of that. Fenders are in decent shape. So this is not the original fender. It was broken when I got it. This fender is off a newer KE100 and the bolt pattern is different. So it only has the rear two bolts, not the front two, but you really wouldn't notice unless you're looking. But it doesn't look bad. And then the rear fender is original. It's been on there forever. You can take that sticker off. I just put it on there because that place was getting a lot of parts for. Put a new battery in it, and you know, the headlight will work with just the engine running, but the tail light won't. You need the battery for the tail light. And if there were turn signals, you need the battery for the turn signals, but the headlight will work on its own with just a motor running. So actually it works pretty good. I just did new points and condenser and made sure I gapped the points correctly. It's a pretty nice little bike, you know, a good little trail bike for you to whip around on, or if you're getting it for a kid. I've actually been using it as a pit bike at the motocross track, and everyone loves it while I have it there. It runs pretty good. I also have this rack for the back. I took it off just to make it a little easier to store the bike, but it's pretty easy to put on. You know, it's only 2 bolts on each side, so if you're into it, dig it, put it on there. So that's about it. Let me go ahead and start this thing up for you. I haven't run it yet today, but it's like 90 degrees and 100 and some humidity out here, 100% humidity out here in southeastern Pennsylvania, so I think it'll probably start pretty easy regardless. Let's give it a whirl and see if I can prop this bike up somewhere, phone up somewhere so you can really see it. Oh, let's see what we can do. So you can hear it start. I guess that'll be good for now. I'll get the phone once I get it running and let you hear it. Starts pretty easy, runs pretty good. There's no air leaks, so it doesn't jump up on high idle. I don't want to go crazy revving it because my neighbors are all out. You know, everyone's either working from home or laid off. So, but hear it run. Good, so if you're interested, let me know. Again, the price is $900 firm. Sorry, it's not negotiable. The only trade I would really be interested in would be a decent trailer to put 2 dirt bikes on, pull behind my truck. That's really all I need. I don't need any other bikes or anything, or definitely don't need any more cars. So $900 firm, or trade for a decent trailer for it's worth about the same amount. So yeah, let me know. Thanks, guys.